Hi, I'm Goma Dango and welcome back to my channel. This isn't YouTube? Oh, alright, well f*** this, I'm going home. Hi Waseda! Hi Ted! Oh, hold on, who's Ted? I wasn't introduced to a Ted. Anyone? No? Can I get like a business card or something? Like, I don't know, just have him talk to my manager. I don't have a manager. Okay, so I'm a drag queen who performs here in Tokyo, and I know what you're thinking. Exciting, right? TEDxWasedaU giving you yet another queer person who wears makeup. The patriarchy is wobbling. Last year, we had the lovely Kodo Nishimura, who is just inspiring people to be themselves and just being all around a very generous and loving person. But that's not me. Hashtag disappointing homosexual. Yeah, I am not here to help you look within. I cannot fix your past trauma, and I'm definitely not going to be here giving you lovely stories of unicorns and rainbow cupcakes. I am here today because I have been through as much shit as you. And of course, my experiences are going to be my own, but hopefully they might be a little bit relatable and universal, so that I can show you that even though I've had these experiences, I've still been able to get through things and live my life successfully. Oh, we're successful now! News to me. I'm hoping that by sharing some stuff from my life, you might be able to apply it to yours. So you are going to be transforming today into a better person. And while you are transforming, I am going to be transforming as well. Because honestly, no one wants to take advice from a 36-year-old white man living in Asia. But they'll listen to every word a drag queen in her early 20s has to say. Okay, late 20s. Fine, mid-30s, just move on. So, I'd first like to start off by covering any hints of facial hair I have on my face, right? So like, if you look at facial hair in bright, harsh lighting, it kind of turns up a little bit bluish. And then, if you are scientific and smart, you can look on the other side of the color wheel and realize that orange and red are on the other side. So by putting orange on the top, you can cover that up and make that facial hair manly side go bye-bye. I mean, the whole idea of fake it until you make it has kind of been my mantra in life, right? And I think it's a mantra in a lot of people's lives, even if you don't acknowledge it. But it definitely helps. So when I first got to Japan, I lived in Osaka, and I could barely speak any Japanese at all. But what I would do is kind of use these little simple key phrases, and I would just pepper them into conversations to make it seem like I knew a lot more Japanese than I actually did. So I'd be having these conversations with people, and I would just, throw in like a homaka, like a usoyan, and then people would just be like, wow, this guy is fluent. And then I would just leave the conversation before anyone knew how bad I actually was, thus making it. So in that way, I was able to get my foot in the door in more, social circles and get more actual professional opportunities as well than if I had been telling the truth about how bad my Japanese absolutely was. I got acting work, I got voiceover work. Excuse me, this stuff smells like shit, I apologize. But I mean, then I also got into this improv comedy group based on the fact that I could speak Japanese fluently and perform bilingually. And we all know that's not the truth. But did I get on stage? Yes. Was I telling the truth? No. Am I here doing a TED Talk? Yeah. So basically, just fake it until you make it, okay? Because absolutely everyone is doing it, but no one is talking about it. Even when I first started doing drag, I had no idea what I was doing. Like, I couldn't walk in heels, my face was a mess. What's changed? But I knew that I wanted to perform. And so the more you actually fake it, the more your confidence builds trying to get through these simple situations. And the more your confidence builds, the more confidence you have in the end because you've been faking it through all of these simple situations. And then you're able to actually get through something more difficult. So I mean, honestly, just if you can lie to yourself, you can lie to everyone else, and that'll just make your life better. Or not, don't trust me. Okay. So after I get my face covered with this color correction, what I'm gonna do next is slap on foundation, okay? And this foundation is not like daytime wedding, springtime realness foundation for like your average everyday cutesy wootsy girl. No, this is like drunk club, dark nighttime, monster in the closet, covering up everything you hate about yourself foundation, all right? This is what we're gonna use because we want to say bye-bye to reality today. Hai ikimasu. Oh, see, reality is just flying out the window. Again, we are speaking very loosely here. Am I gorgeous? Maybe not. But do I feel gorgeous? Atarimae da. Okay, I'm done. But every day is a completely new start. Like, you have the power to shut down all the negativity from yesterday and kind of step into the day with a little bit of a newer and positive mindset. And that can totally change you. I mean, sure, ignorance and a weak memory are going to come into play a little bit because you might want to forget a little bit about what happened the other day. But I mean, all you have to do, as I said before, is fake it until you make it. Just keep going and keep it pumping. Of course, this is much more easily said than done. And of course, foundation is going to help. So would therapy. But foundation is more affordable than therapy. And so today, we're going to be using foundation because, I mean, why not? That positive outlook, that kind of fresh way you have of going through your life, I mean, that's gonna serve as a strong foundation for the rest of your week, for the rest of your day, for the rest of your life. It's gonna serve as a strong foundation. Did you get that? A strong foundation, because he's putting on foundation. He made that connection. Did you make that connection? Yeah? Okay, just checking. So now that I'm kind of this flat, creepy baby, what we're gonna do is do a little bit of contour and highlight in order to bring some shape back into the face. So we're gonna use this darker color, and what we're gonna do is just put it on the parts of the face that we want to kind of take away from the light, kind of bring a little bit of darkness to it. But you don't really have to think about it like that, right? I mean, think of it as if these areas are kind of giving you character. I mean, everyone has a little bit of darkness in their life, right? Whether it's like something you want to change, an experience that you've been through. But I mean, we've all been through it, so it's quite natural. And even myself, like when I was in high school, I got bullied sometimes for being like, effeminate, for being nerdy, for being soft, just being, generally not so cool. Almost nothing has changed. I mean, I'm still nerdy, I'm still effeminate, I'm still quite soft, but I've just gotten generally louder. Is that a good thing or a bad? I don't know, but just judge, okay? Judge. But bullying is something that a lot of people go through all over the world. It's, not just a exclusively queer experience at all. People are inherently scared and inquisitive about things that are just, different. And I dealt with it in my own way. I got through it, I moved on, and hopefully I came out a little bit better, maybe a little bit stronger. And sure, it sucked when I was going through it. There's no really getting against that. But looking back on it now, if I hadn't actually gone through it, then I don't think I would appreciate the good parts of life that I actually can appreciate now. That brings us to highlight, right? This is the fun stuff that I always like to save towards the end. So what we're gonna do now is take this super white cream and then put it on all the places that we want to actually pop, that we want to stand out, that we want to really soak up the light. But if you don't have this white cream on, you really can't appreciate the work you did earlier, the dark contour. And so that goes back to what I was saying earlier, where you can't appreciate the good stuff without the negative. Am I really not getting paid for this? Now it's time for eyebrows. And this is one of the most stressful parts, absolutely hands down. Because, the key to eyebrows is to make sure you have at least some sense of symmetry when you're putting them on. But a lot of people say when you're doing eyebrows, they're like, don't worry about it. Eyebrows are sisters, not twins. And that's supposed to calm you down, knowing that symmetry is not, the ultimate goal. But I mean, honestly, eyebrows are not sisters. not even let alone twins. Like, they are not at all. Eyebrows are neighbors, okay? Eyebrows are neighbors, and they are living in the same neighborhood because the schools are good. The neighborhood here being my forehead, okay? And the school, I don't know, I didn't really think this metaphor through. So, I mean, f what everyone else says, and honestly, just do what you want, okay? And this should be part of your, you know, your morning mirror speech. Everything that you say to yourself in the morning before you get going. Because I mean, you should just do what makes you happy. There's absolutely no reason for you to live by society's expectations, right? I mean, that's kind of stupid because after all, society is something created by humans. And since we created it, we have the right to change it any way we want. And the things that used to be cool 10 years ago, the things that used to be cool 1,000 years ago, obviously aren't going to be cool or appropriate or acceptable today. So, f it. Ooh, I'm on fire today. All right, so now when it comes to doing makeup for the eyes, there's a really, really important key thing that you cannot forget. You have to put makeup on both of them. On both of them. Both of them. Okay, don't forget that. Not just the right, not just the left. You have to put makeup on both of them. All right, next part. All right, so now we're back and it's time for some blush because we have to warm it up a little bit, right? I mean, I look kind of dead right now and no one likes a cold, dead body. まあね、人はそれぞれ. I used to think that being mean and cold and bitchy was a kind of a way to protect myself and keep others at a distance, you know? Of course, you know, it's fun to be a bad bitch and always have a witty comeback, but like that can only really get you so far. I mean, a lot of the situations will go so much more smoothly if you just, you know, say your opinion honestly and you actually listen to what other people are saying as well. I mean, just give it a shot. Take a chance, see how it goes, and let me know how it works out for you. You can post your comments at www.gomacares.com. Don't. Guys, it is time for highlight. So what we're gonna do is pop this like really, really shiny stuff on me, and you're gonna be like, oh, that is wet. Is it necessary? No, it's extremely extra, but we're not here for necessary. And that's kind of my point here, right? You're allowed to take as much time as you want and have a little, are we seeing this? So I mean, do what you want, say what you want, wear what you want, do what you feel. Like there's no point in holding back in life because we have every right to just go and f around. So why not? All right, so this is finally the last part of the makeup. So you can like go do your laundry in about 3 minutes or so. Just hold on. What's the rush, Rumiko? It's time to add some lips. And in this section, we want to be very careful to actually pay attention to a lot of the detail because the detail is what's going to be important when you take your 700 selfies in this wonderful studio after we finish today. Thank you, Waseda. So anyone can pretty much put on lipstick, right? It's not that hard to, you know, do a little wee, and then go ma with the tissue. Any idiot can do that. But what we're gonna do is we're going to overline the lips. We're gonna put some highlight in the middle. We're gonna put some shadow on the side, and then we're gonna put some glitter also because why not? But this detail idea kind of applies to life too, right? I mean, if it didn't, I wouldn't have been talking about it. Because like you can get through pretty much anything if you want to very quickly, but it'll probably turn out really slipshod and half-assed and it just won't be, you know, worth it in the end. Because I mean, things taste better when you measure the ingredients, right? So if you're thinking about it like that, it kind of makes sense to take time to actually focus on the details. Says the bitch who just puts crazy salt on everything. When I first came out, oh, I'm gay by the way. When I first came out in like maybe 2007, 2008, I was really excited and I tried to catch up with like what I thought everyone else was doing. So I would go on like a lot of dates. I would try to build as many relationships as I possibly could. And it was just kind of like quantity over quality. But after a few years, I started taking my time with things. I started focusing on, you know, the details of relationships, the things that actually make sense when you like become an adult, that kind of a stuff, right? And things just got better after that, and they started to, you know, mean more to me. So, I mean, does that mean that I stopped having sex and casual sex in my late 20s? No, absolutely not. I mean, but like the quality shot up thanks to taking my time with the details. So give it a shot. Woo. And this is the final look. You're welcome. I know, underwhelmingly beautiful, isn't it? Don't worry. But I mean, Waseda didn't hire me because they thought I was stunning. Let's be honest. So there you have it. I have officially transformed into this gorgeous creature you see now sitting before you. I have completely eclipsed my former boring self. Now, if you're not into makeup or drag, it's okay, not everyone can be perfect. I at least hope that you've been able to take away just a little bit of what I'd said today. I know I mentioned a lot of stupid tricks and tidbits and stuff like that, but ultimately it all comes down to the idea of you do you. Someone very special to me said this recently, and I felt simultaneously seen, respected, freed, and just comforted all at the same time. So, Goma does Goma. Except stuff like murder and kidnapping, etc., you should probably follow most of those rules. Most of them. However, if you didn't get anything out of this, that's totally fine, because I can't force you to recognize greatness if you're too blind to see it. So you're gonna have to take your ass all the way to the Ganka, while I'm laughing myself all the way to the little ginkgo. Bye!